smoky. So the driving video was about a month ago, and I didn't have the overflow in, and my battery kept dying. Got the overflow from Renegade Motorsports that's for an S2000, but I made a bracket and it fits really nicely there. Got my little short K&N filter on. I had to cut the fan shroud there to make it fit, but now there's plenty of room. Jordan is the main reason I turboed my car. The JDL kit, the pipe just goes straight out and the turbo inlet goes straight in there. And when I saw that, I realized how easy it would be to make the intercooler setup, and all I needed to find was a manifold and downpipe. Jordan's had this for probably close to 2 years now. Still hasn't put aftermarket injectors or fuel pump or anything like that. Car makes almost 300. It's like 240 torque. Also, the JDL intercooler, it's barely off center, but just off center enough to make me build an entire custom kit. So I got a P3 gauge. See if I can figure out the how to work it. So as you can see, the gauge is a little finicky. There is a lot of different settings and only 2 buttons here. When I got the gauge, it came with all of these A1 inputs in there, but on P3, A1N equals no auxiliary input. So because I had, I think, A1Y on, it was auto adding all of these, and this gauge would not read anything for multiple days. Same with A2, that has to be on N, or else there'll be all these extra settings in here. But even in each setting, there's a setting, bar, PSI. Yeah, but for some reason, they want you to write all these down and send that to you, or to them, to gather your info, to tell you. I was on the website for multiple hours. I figured out that their troubleshooting method is the exact same thing as my troubleshooting method after you write all that down, or just any troubleshooting method in general. And now the gauge is not going to go off. And this will just stay on all day long. In my last video, I had said that full-blown motorsports didn't sit in the hardware, and now I feel like an idiot, because when I was throwing away a bunch of old stuff, I found the hardware. Another thing I did was put in these HKS spark plugs. Might have jumped the gun on those, because I've had the car running a few different times now, and it's running super rich. The mounts are louder with the windows up. Goodness. Yeah, she needs a tune.
It sounded like my car with that shake.
That's because you got subframe mounts. Now I got trans mounts. In my last video, I talked about trying to make the FRS turbo kit as cheap as possible. And obviously by getting an eBay intercooler and intercooler piping and all those couplers, that's gonna save you a ton of money. But now that MAPerformance doesn't make that manifold hot part kit, on Facebook Marketplace groups like forced induction 86s, or the other group's called Toyota 86 Marketplace. On those two groups in the last like 6 months, I've seen multiple turbo kits or supercharger kits for around $3,000. Most of them are used, but well, obviously they're used. That would at least get you a manifold, and if you wanted to make custom piping like I did myself, that would be your cheapest route probably. It's definitely a lot better than buying a new kit for $5,000, and they've been popping up a lot lately. A couple small little things I have left to do. I need to find a better hose that's more flexible for the overflow, and as well as create some kind of support for it, because this bracket hanging off of the headlight support there, this metal is super flimsy. not a whole lot else left to do until the tune. I have those sideways fab mounts. There's a great view of them. And I installed them wrong, and it threw an ABS code. And after, what's up, Jordan? After disconnecting the battery, that code cleared and it hasn't come back on. One other thing that I have to do that I have a great angle of here is the turbo drain to the pan is leaking a little. So the oil drain needs some kind of sealant. So hopefully the next video, this thing will be on a dyno. Fingers crossed. If anyone was curious, it's getting tuned at Drift Office in Auburn, Washington.